All right, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Like I overslept today this morning. I was trying to get up an hour earlier because I'm getting my hair done. So I was trying to get up an hour earlier so I would have time to do everything that we do, but that didn't happen. So, no gym vlog today either. And I wasn't even in the gym for that long. I did 20 minutes on the elliptical, and then I did my mobility stuff. So like my warm up stretches, rotator cuff stuff. I did push ups, bench push ups, and then I did the modified Smith machine pull ups. I did 3 sets of that, and then I had to go because I had to take a shower. So I know this is day number 2 of no like gym footage. Yesterday my audio was all fucked up. It was just a lot. Yesterday was just a lot. Yesterday was technical difficulties. Today was just poor planning on my end. So I am so sorry. It was a pretty short workout. I mean, I was in there for an hour, but it wasn't like strenuous or anything like that. So I gotta take this out. So I figured I'd talk to y'all while I take out my hair, like I always do. And then I gotta go get it washed. And then I gotta get to the girls' house by 12. So I have like 2 hours to do all that. Hopefully I have enough time to. I didn't pack food, so if I have enough time, stop by Kava and grab me a bowl before I go to her house. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to eat till like it takes her like 3 hours, so till 3. Gosh, that's a long time. So I'm just gonna try to hurry up and take this out real quick. But anyway, yes, I'm sorry. So let's see. I wanted to, since it's not really like a gym vlog or anything, I just want to kind of like sit here and just kind of motivate you guys. For those of y'all who are struggling with feeling motivated to change your life, I think, and again, I can only speak from my own experiences, but changing is so scary. It really is. And it's unfortunate because I feel like society makes us feel like shit if we quote unquote fail at something. Like people will look at, like, let's say you tried to lose weight, right? And you did good for like 2 or 3 weeks and then you fell off. Someone's pulling up next to me. I look all wild and crazy. But anyways, let's say you fell off after like 2 or 3 weeks of doing really, really good. In your mind, you failed. And you're going to start to feel bad about yourself. And trust me, I know. I already know because this has happened to me. You're going to start to feel bad about yourself. You're going to start to put yourself down. You're going to start telling yourself, see, I told you couldn't do this, yada, yada, yada. It's just going to be a whole toxic mess. A whole toxic mess. But in my honest opinion, as long as you keep trying, even if it's not as successful as you would have liked the first go around or the 10th go around, whatever, as long as you keep trying, that's not failing. And I don't think you should look at it like you failed. I think you should look at it like, okay, what could I learn from this so that when I try again, I actually reach the goal? You know what I mean? Like, don't look at it like you failed at weight loss or you suck at being in a caloric deficit. I wouldn't look at it like that. I would just look at it as, what is this trying to teach me? Where did I struggle the most? You know what I mean? And by looking at it like that, the next attempt, you're a little bit better than you were on the first attempt because if you ask yourself that question, like, what did I do wrong this time? Now you have a little bit more information than you had the last time. So you can apply that new information the next time around. But it's not failing. You didn't fail. Failing for me is like when you literally give up. Like you literally wipe your hands with it you're done, you're throwing in the towel, you're never going to try it again. But even if you've been yo-yo dieting for 10 years like I had been, I didn't fail because I kept trying. It might have taken me a little while to get back on board, right? I might have fallen off, said fuck it for a few months or whatever. But I always kept trying. I didn't give it up. You know, I didn't just sulk and say, well, so much for that. I'm going to always be fat for the rest of my life. Those thoughts crossed my mind, yes. I did start to feel like that. But I still kept trying. I still kept trying. And every time I tried and didn't reach my goal, I learned a little bit more than I learned the last time. One of the biggest things I learned, even before I hired my trainer, was I celebrate too soon. And it actually took me my second to last try to realize that. And I said to myself, you know, when I try again, which was the time I got my trainer, I said, when I try again, even when I start losing weight, I'm not going to celebrate it. Like, I'm not going to celebrate it like I typically do. When I would lose enough weight to be able to... I had a pair of jeans that my goal was to fit into. It was this one pair of jeans, and they made my body look sexy. They were a size 16, but no stretch. There was no stretch, so I had to be a real 16 in order to squeeze into those. And they were really nice. I loved those jeans. They were like a faded, light wash pair of jeans, skinny leg jeans. They were so cute. They hugged my body just the way they needed to be hugged. But every time I couldn't fit them anymore, my goal when I would try to lose weight was to be able to fit them again. That was the bar. And so every time I would try to lose weight, and I had these jeans for years. These pair of jeans, I had those pair of jeans for at least 5 or 6 years. I could fit them, then I couldn't. I could fit them, then I couldn't. It was, like that. But the bar, I didn't care what the scale said. Like, I knew I needed to be around 275 to be able to fit them. 265 to really be able to fit them. Like, they're not uncomfortable when I sit down. 275, I can squeeze into them and make it work. 265, they're really comfortable. And so I noticed that on all the tries that I attempted, I noticed that once I was able to get into that pair of jeans, I felt like even though I still needed to lose way more weight, but I felt like I could slack off a little bit because I reached the goal. And I realized the second to last try, I was like, okay, when I try this again, because I had gained the weight back so they couldn't fit anymore. But I said, whenever I choose to try to lose weight again, I'm not going to celebrate when I can fit into these jeans again. I'm not going to celebrate it. Because every time I would fit into them, I would wear them all the time. And they were like my one pair of jeans. Like, I had other pairs, but it was something about that pair of jeans. Like, they just fit perfectly. Like, no other pair hit the way those hit. But every time I could squeeze into them again, I would wear them and go out and slowly revert back to my old habits. Going out to eat, getting my margaritas. It was just something I always did. And I would slowly fall off the weight loss wagon. And so when I hired my trainer, those jeans no longer fit. They didn't even come up my thigh. Because I was 340 pounds at that point. So them jeans no longer fit, but I kept them. I kept a lot of clothes. I always would buy clothes that I knew were too small because I had the hopes of losing weight. Like, I knew I was going to lose weight. So it's like, well, why get the size that fits? Because I don't plan on staying this size, right? And so I never had clothes to wear because everything was too small. Everything was too small. But I was just holding on to faith. Like, I knew one day. I didn't know where that day was going to be. I didn't know what trial was going to be. But I knew one day them clothes was going to fit. So I knew once I hit like 270, I would have a whole wardrobe full of clothes. Because I would not buy anything bigger than a size 18. I was literally in denial. So anytime I had to go somewhere that required me to wear clothes, because I used to wear like a lot of yoga pants and sweatpants, things like that, t-shirts. So anytime dresses, you can kind of be different sizes and still wear the same dress, right? Because dresses kind of stretch depending on the material. So I wear dresses a lot. But anyways, I never bought stuff that fit. So whenever I had to go somewhere, I would have to buy an outfit just to wear to this event. Like if it was a birthday party or a wedding or something, because I never had clothes that were readily fittable. But anyways, so I hired my trainer. I was 340, and nothing in my closet fit. Nothing fit. I think that was like the first time I had got that big. So, and I hadn't gone anywhere in a while, so it wasn't like I had clothes. I had nothing that fit. Even like some of my sweatpants weren't fitting anymore because I was that much bigger. But anyways, I had all these clothes in this closet for when I hit 275. For when I hit 275, and then stuff smaller because I got bigger over time. So I had stuff for when I was 275. I had stuff for when I was like 250. I just gradually got bigger and bigger over the years. So, and then I didn't think I had anything past 250 because at that point the style had changed. Like stuff that was in style was no longer in style anymore. So that stuff kind of got thrown away over time. But anyways, I had enough clothes, like a whole wardrobe, for if I was 275 to 250. So anyways, I was like, okay, I'm not going to celebrate ahead of time anymore. Or not ahead of time. I'm not going to celebrate. I'm just not even going to try the clothes on. Like, that's what I learned. I was like, because whenever I try shit on and it starts to fit, I start to feel good, which is great. Like, you should feel good because you put in all that hard work. But then, like, I just slowly fall off the wagon. It never fails. It never fails. So, I started losing weight. I tried on the pair. Like, I wouldn't really get on the scale that much. I would just try clothes on and then take them off. Because I really wasn't going anywhere at that time either. So, I was still, sticking to sweatpants, gym clothes, stuff like that. But anyways, I would go off of that. I would try on the pair of jeans. Okay, yeah, they still don't come up past my thigh. I still got a long way to go, right? But after that, after a couple times, I stopped trying on clothes. I just literally stuck to my gym clothes. I had got a few pairs of, like, I got like a few pairs of tights from Walmart. I got a couple of sports bras, and I just wore that every day. Like, I would just wear that, and I would go off of how they fit. And when I noticed that stuff was getting a little big, then I knew, okay, I'm losing some weight. But I wouldn't go try on the clothes anymore in the closet because I just had this fear of once stuff starts fitting, I'm going to start slipping. So at this point, I'm like, gosh. I would say, and it worked out because gym clothes is like fashionable. So it worked out. Like I could still like, go out and wear my gym tights and, I still looked normal, right? I wasn't looking like busted and disgusted. I wasn't wearing like clothes. I was wearing like leisure gym stuff. You know the vibes. But anyways, so I had finally, it was brought to my attention, like people were talking about how much weight I had lost. And I was like, oh my gosh. Even my trainer was like, you lost a lot of weight. I could tell in my gym clothes, like the shirts that I had were getting a lot bigger. They were starting to get baggier. At this point now I'm starting to look homeless, right? Because the shit is just like hanging off me, hanging off my shoulders, stuff like that. So I was like, okay, well, let me go try on these clothes just to see what's going on, right? Not to wear them out, but just to see, like, what's the deal? So, y'all, I kid you not. Them jeans that I've been holding on to for years, where I knew, like, if I was 270, I knew, like, if they fit, even if they were snug, if I could get them up and fasten them, I knew I was at least, like, 275. Not only could I get them up, they were too big. You guys, the jeans were too big. They weren't just a little too big. Like, they were baggy as fuck too big. Like, I looked like they was just too fucking big. They were way too big. Like, I couldn't even wear them if I wanted to. They were too big. It wasn't even like a fashionable baggy style. No, like they were too big. Like, I couldn't walk in them because they were falling off my hips. I was like, oh shit. So then I tried on some of my other clothes that for when I was smaller than that, everything was too big. Y'all, I no longer had clothes to wear. Like, I had finally reached that one goal of I'm not going to be big for the rest of my life, because I told you I had clothes from 250 to 275 and none of that stuff fit anymore. Nothing in my closet fit. Everything was too big. Everything was too big. Even the dresses, because like I said, you could get away with dresses being a little bit bigger, a little too small, because depending on the material, they can still kind of fit, whether it's stretch or whatever. Everything was too big. I was like, okay. But see, I say all that to say, every time you try, even if you don't necessarily get the results that you want, as long as you don't give up hope, as long as you keep faith, even if you let it go for a few months or whatever, right? Because when I would gain all the weight back and then some, it's not like I just hopped right back on a new diet. I kind of just stopped thinking about it for a while. That's why I would put on weight, because I stopped thinking about it. And I'm not recommending that either. But what I am suggesting is don't look at it like you failed. As long as you keep trying, like I said, even if you have to take a little break, because it's just, you're a little disappointed in yourself. That's normal. That happens. But as long as you just keep trying, you didn't fail. Failure is when you literally just throw in the towel and you say, you know what, I am no longer going to do this. And I'm just going to accept these results for the rest of my life. That's when you failed. And family members would tease me. Well, I don't know if they would tease me or like talk shit, but they would always be like if they found out I was on a diet, or if I was over there and I wasn't drinking soda like I normally do, or I cut back on drinking, because I used to be a very heavy drinker as well. And so when they noticed any type of change in my eating habits, like suggesting that I was trying to lose weight, they would always say stuff like, I don't know why you're trying to lose weight. You keep gaining it all back and then some. Don't make no sense. But despite that, I just kept trying, and that's all you can do, especially when you're literally changing what you know. Y'all, I've been overweight my whole life, damn near. So all I knew was, if I'm thirsty, drink soda or drink a juice box of some kind, right? I wasn't just drinking water just to drink it. Sometimes, but most of the time I was grabbing a soda. So, changing habits that you've had literally your entire life, is challenging. Like, that's hard as fuck. Like, clearly I lacked accountability. Clearly I lacked discipline. All of those things are needed to lose weight. Clearly I lacked patience, right? And reflecting back on my personality traits back then, I did lack all those things. If I didn't see results in like 2 weeks, or I would give it a month. I would slowly stop, because I'm like, what is the point of this? I didn't realize that a lot of things take a long time. Or I would underestimate how much time it would take. So you have to change, like, not just your eating habits, but who you are. Like, literally, who you are. I didn't know how to deal with stress, so I would eat. I didn't know how to deal with boredom, so I would eat. I didn't know how to deal with anxiety, so I would eat. And you know what's crazy? When it came to anxiety, a lot of the foods I was eating was what was causing the anxiety. Think about it. If you're drinking soda, which is full of caffeine, and it's now the caffeine is rushing through your body, but you're just sitting there, you're not working it off, of course you're going to feel antsy. Your body's trying to get rid of it. Like, but you're literally just sitting there. You're not moving. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not walking around. You're just sitting there. So, of course, you're going to feel anxious. And it's crazy because my trainer taught me that. Like, just like if you get, one of those coffee drinks, like a macchiato or something with 5 shots of espresso. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that caffeine has nowhere to go. All of that sugar that you're consuming, like it's just sitting inside of you. Like, you are not moving. Unless you're like active and you drink that. But I'm talking about like people like myself who are just couch potatoes, just eating all this sugar, consuming all this caffeine. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's like when they're people's kids, when they're saying their kids have ADHD and stuff. Like, I'm not sitting here saying some people don't suffer from that. But what I am saying is, I mean, come on, you guys. Like, some people are feeding their kids all this fucking sugar and wonder why their kids are bouncing off walls. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then wonder why your kid can't sit still. Because you done put all that sugar in them. No wonder they can't sit still. No wonder they're having a hard time focusing. Like, they're high on sugar. But the same applies for adults too, So, I'm not saying all cases. I'm not a doctor. But I am saying that, some of the stuff that we're eating is what's causing these problems. That's keeping us eating, We feel like we have some type of problem. But really the problem that we have is the fact that we don't eat healthy foods, it's just, it's the truth. But don't feel like you're giving up. And, beating yourself up over it makes it worse because now you feel sad or you feel like you can't do something. You feel like you're incapable. So what do? You go run to the vice that you've always run to. Food, so that it can make you feel good for a little while until you feel like shit again, because now it's like, dang, I can't stop fucking eating. You know what I mean? So don't do that to yourself. It's not failing. And I know it's disappointing. I know. Trust me. I know. I know how that feels. I know how it feels. But shit happens. Shit happens. It takes people. Think about all the times it took you to fall when you were learning how to walk. If you can remember. I can't remember. That was a long time ago, right? But you probably fell 1,010,000 times. And you still got up. And you kept trying. Think about all the times you tried to ride a bike, if you can remember. I can't remember, but I'm sure it took you 1,010,000 times to learn how to ride a bike. Probably scraped your knee, got some bruises, hit your head, ran into something, right? But eventually, after trying and trying and trying and working at it every day, you're finally able to ride a bike without falling. Think about all the times you stumbled over words when you were learning how to read. I don't remember that either, but I mean, if you have kids, think about all the times your kids try to read a sentence and can't pronounce it right, or stumbling over a word, or saying it incorrectly. That happens for years. That happens for years. Years your kids are trying to learn how to read. That takes years. But eventually it gets to the point where they can read a sentence and they know what it says, and they know how to pronounce the word, and they're not stumbling over it, and they understand what they're saying. And that's because they are forced to read every day, right? It's forced upon them. It is forced to read every day. So that's why they get better every day, because they are practicing it every day. So if you bring it back to losing weight and trying to get in shape and learning how to eat right and learning how to deal with stuff without running to food all the time, and you work on that every single day, you have no choice but to get better at it. And that's not just with weight loss, that's with anything that you do. Anything. So you never told your child they're a failure at reading because they don't know how to pronounce the word because or pause. Like English is hard. There's so many people who come over here and have to learn English as a second language and talk about how hard it is. English is a very hard language to learn. But you didn't tell your kids they're a failure at learning English, now did you? No. So don't tell yourself that you're a failure at losing weight or whatever. You're not a failure. You're only a failure when you 1,000% give up. As long as you don't give up, you didn't fail. You're still learning. And that's okay. Because that means that every time you try again, you're going to be a little bit better than last time. You feel me? All right, y'all. I got to go get my hair done. We will have a gym vlog tomorrow. Hold me to it, all right? I'll see y'all later. Bye.